Till remained quiet, listening to Arrow continue his side of the story. Once I got out of town, the assumed success of my escape had set in. Hiding in my favorite spot behind the waterfall, I kicked my feet back, laughing the whole time. Those guys bully me almost every day, so it was nice to finally get one up on them. It's probably not a good idea to hide behind the only natural water source this town has, despite the situation, Till said. Arrow laughed. I can still feel the dirt between my fingers, the sound of the crashing waterfall. Probably why I couldn't hear him. He must have floated across the water, or maybe he's just that good. Feeling the pain in Arrow's words, Till's reply was simple. Who? I don't know his name, Arrow said. The one with the marked blue skin, long hair, and pointy ears. Ah, the nymph boy, Ren. Intertwined with the elements of their born ecosystem, nymphs can be extremely powerful. Arrow turned from the window. The look on his face said it all. Well, it was the nymph who attacked first. By the time I knew what was happening, it was too late. I opened my eyes to the sight of the waterfall crashing against me. I managed to roll to my hands and knees, but Ren quickly adjusted. Tightening his left hand, he somehow increased the pressure, removing any hope of escape. I didn't know the nymph boy had such formidable hydrokinetic abilities, Till said, updating his report. The ability to control the flow of a waterfall while increasing its pressure is a skill level well beyond a junior cadet. Till remained perplexed. This entire time, he was waiting for the human boy to divulge some weapon he was hiding or some kind of non-lethal tech he found, something that would explain why a little human of Earth bested 4 high-pedigree junior cadets. He did it all with one hand. I'll never forget it. There I am, screaming underwater, trying to move, and then I see Ren raise his right hand in slow motion before slashing it down. He did this several times before the ground beneath me began to rumble. Roots and vines erupted from the cove behind the waterfall, slithering around my arms and legs. The ones from beneath me wrapped around my body and pulled me deeper into the mud. All I could think about was taking a breath. Clearly reliving the experience, Arrow hesitated. What happened to this kid? Till thought. When the others arrived, Ren lowered his left hand, releasing the waterfall. I was glad to gasp for air, but not so much for what came next. Rotating his right hand, Ren reanimated the roots to flip me over, so I faced them. Using his left hand, he grabbed at the air below him, conjuring more roots to the surface. This time, 4 perfectly formed clubs rose from the wet ground. Plucked like ripened pear grapes from the refugee center gardens, Us the Travarian stepped up first. Still pissed, I baited him into destroying the market. He crushed the remaining armor on my chest with a single strike. When I didn't react, he went into a squealing rage. He ripped off my vest and then raised the club overhead, squealing and croaking in some weird display of dominance. Then he hit me in the face, breaking my goggles. My head was spinning. From there, I can only remember bits and pieces. I need you to be as detailed as possible for my report, Till commented. Do your best to give me a complete story. Well, after Usk, Arrow said, they each took turns hitting me. I can still see Tang's stupid, pointed face and his blackish-blue wings suspending him above everyone while his squawking cackle echoed around the cave. What else? I can see the hate in the Zenith's eyes as he struck me in the ribs over and over. Pausing the story again, Arrow lifted his shirt to show Till the damage they caused. Strange, if he got beaten as badly as he said he did, and so recently, why do the marks on his body look halfway healed? Till thought. Arrow resumed. Before I passed out, I could taste blood streaming down my face. I could feel the difference in each of their footsteps as they left, one by one, saying their final insult or bragging about their part in the victory. The next thing I remember was waking up covered in blood, still tied to the ground. I couldn't feel anything but my misery darkening to rage. Thinking about it, I'm sure I did what they are accusing me of. I just wish I could remember. Arrow turned to Till, defeated after the confession. What are you saying? What happened after you were tied to the ground? Try to remember what happened next, Till replied. I'm sorry, but like I said, I only remember lying there and then nothing, Arrow emphasized. What do you mean nothing? I swear I can't remember. I don't even remember being brought back here. Till thought for a moment, deciding if he was going to accept the information that was presented or the lack thereof. He had to do something. You know, There are many stories from early Uruki history. We tend to think of them as myths or fairy tales. One such story tells a tale of my species living side by side with yours. We were slaves to ancient powers. The tale says we fought alongside each other, liberating the planet. But it must be just a story because those records say your species was much hairier back then. Arrow turned from the window, a slight smirk on his face, but the moment disappeared quickly. There is also the story of when the GA asked the forces of Earth for help in fighting the Shadow. I could tell you the names of the first 3 humans to be evolved, but that story, among many others from my species' history, are hard to believe. Unfortunately, your story is the same, given that you seem to be fine while the others are not. That can be all for now, but this is not over. When I get to the bottom of this, appropriate punishments shall be dealt. Till's harsh warning brought an end to the interrogation just as Headmaster Grant burst through the door, followed by Nurse Kisa. So, what's it to be, huh? Grant bellowed as a menacing look took over his face. What have we decided for the little monster? Jettisoning off-world? Should we bury him in the desert? What punishment do we get to carry out? Arrow ignored the intrusion and remained staring out the window. Well, Liaison Till said, scrolling through the data on his AAD, we still haven't figured out all the angles yet, Headmaster. Not finding what he was looking for, he turned from the group to Kisa. Nurse Kisa, can I speak to you outside? Sure, Kisa answered. Grant stared in disbelief as Till ignored him. Shut the door behind you, Till whispered. Okay, she whispered back, joining Till's confusion as they waited for the rest of her body to clear the doorway. You brought the boys in, right? Till asked. Did you notice anything strange about Arrow? Why, yes, I did, which is why I wanted to talk to you before filling out my report. Go on, Till warmly encouraged. When word reached me of a barbaric death match taking place, I rushed out to the tree with the grav cart as fast as I could. When loading Arrow up, he was covered in small lacerations, most of which looked like they needed serious stitch work. His ribs were definitely broken, but by the time I got him to the conference room, all he needed was a proper cleaning. Very interesting, Till replied. I've been looking through the boys' records. I see everything on the 4 junior cadets, but I don't really see anything on Arrow. It just says he's a 15-year-old human of Earth. What's up with that? Other than what we learned today, I don't believe there is anything. The little I have, I planned on updating after I did my final assessment, Nurse Kisa replied, shooting a coy look at the liaison while stroking his chin with the end of her tail. Till froze, discombobulated. He scrambled to put his nano-helmet back on, instantly activating the helmet's defogging protocols. Kisa giggled as she slithered past to retrieve what she needed for Arrow's final assessment, her smell of wildflowers bewitching the liaison's focus. He could only watch with a smile as the entirety of the nurse disappeared into her office with exaggerated back-and-forth movement. Till remained mesmerized until the grunts and grumbles of the headmaster's approach ripped him from his dream. Liaison Till, what is going on? This boy won't say a word. Make this make sense, Grant shouted. Ushering the headmaster out, Till quietly explained the situation as best he could. What do you mean he doesn't remember anything that happened after being tied down? Grant bellowed. Liaison Till raised his hands, trying to quiet the disgruntled Travarian, but with no success. Grant began shaking from head to toe as he riled himself up in a tantrum. Calm down, Till said. We still don't know what truly happened. Until we do, a punishment can't be given. He will, without a doubt, perform community service until his hands blister, but I don't know about jail just yet. Well, that's bull. He is always at the center of some problem around here. He's constantly disrupting the town. I know you are somewhat new around here, but the earth creature is a menace, the headmaster said, his body jiggling in rhythm. We need more evidence, Till replied. But don't worry, I know just where to start. Till looked around before continuing. We are going to have to go back to the station and check the DSS to view the virtual feedback for today. That is where we'll get answers. Without a sound, Arrow appeared, the same shy look of defeat still on his face. Excuse me, he interrupted, causing both Till and Grant to jump in fright. I know I'm in trouble, but would it be okay if I came to see the footage so I can remember what happened? Till hesitated. However, one sharp look from Kisa, who reemerged from her office at the commotion, had him standing tall and fixing his uniform. No, it's best you stay here and let Nurse Kisa tend to your injuries. Regardless of the crimes you admitted to playing a part in, you've been through a traumatic experience. Nurse Kisa will take good care of you while we are gone. Don't you worry. We can talk about the footage when you've fully recovered, Till said, helping Kisa guide Arrow back to his spot at the window.